Okay. We heard a bunch of chaos this morning in the coop. The chickens have not started laying yet, but look what we found.
What are they?
Oh, they're tiny.
Did a bird come in?
There's two little brownish ones, so I don't know who laid these.
Wait, are they chickens?
Yeah, they're chickens. I'm trying to get it to focus. It won't focus.
You said they hadn't started laying yet.
They hadn't until today. Here, hold them.
Ooh, they're warm.
They are warm. But look, over here,
More?
it's a blue one.
It's cold.
So today's the first day. The chickens have started laying. They are 6 months old and we have our first eggs.
What?
Hello friends, and happy November! We've made it! We are almost through this year. I hope you guys are doing well. We had a lovely October. The weather was really beautiful, fairly warm, with enough rain to keep everything growing. So our food in the garden, in the fall gardens, had a little extra time. We're supposed to get our first frost tonight, and we had a tiny bit of one yesterday, but really, no, 2 days ago? I don't know, but it was so little. It was just on the tips of the leaves, but none of the food got touched. But I went out today and I harvested peppers and herbs and all the squash. We got squash from the spring planting and from the fall planting. The spring planting ones didn't do well initially because I had put some cardboard down before I put a bunch of soil on top to start some new beds. And I think the roots didn't punch through the cardboard. It didn't really disintegrate much until later on in the season, and that's when they just took off. So I got some kabocha squash. Kombucha squash? Kombucha squash would be good too. If you guys know what kombucha is, it's a drink. And we got a couple different kinds of acorn squash, and I got 2 of the pink banana squash that I planted this spring. They're not pink, but they weren't ready to be harvested yet, but here's one. Look at this. They're huge, and this isn't the longest one. The other one isn't as wide, but it's probably another 3 or 4 inches long. I'm assuming that maybe towards the end of its ripening, if it had time to fully ripen, it would have maybe got a little pink. But the flesh is still kind of soft, and it wasn't ready to come off the vine, but I had to because it was going to freeze. So I'm laying these out in the sun in my office to see if they'll harden up a little bit for storage. Otherwise, we'll have to use them pretty quickly. But I'm excited. I like these. They grew really well. It sounded like there was something in it. I'm glad there's not. It needs to be nice and firm. Anyway, we also had a really lovely Halloween and Samhain celebration yesterday. We had my mother and stepfather and mother-in-law over. They're all a part of our pandemic bubble, so it was nice to have them over. We made a pumpkin piñata. We made pumpkin everything food, from breakfast all the way to dinner. We were able to watch a virtual circus and just enjoy each other's company, which was really nice. I needed that. I needed just kind of to step away from the news and my computer and all that and just have a nice celebration. So I hope you guys had a really nice day yesterday and that you are planning some time to rejuvenate this November. Kaya and I are working the polls on Tuesday. If you're part of a family, you can't be in the same polling station, so we're working 2 separate ones. But I'm excited to see how it all goes, to see how the whole process works, to be a part of this election this year, so that'll be cool. Oh, as you can probably see, my sweater is done, and I love it. I love the color of the yarn. I love the feel. It's just now started getting chilly enough where I can wear it, and so that's been really exciting. I posted a blog post as well as a video about how I constructed the whole thing in case anyone wants to try and do the same thing. And I'm thinking about doing a knit along if anyone's interested, because I've already ordered yarn for a blue one. Uradale Yarn has some kits up with this yarns and kits made for people if you want to order one. And since this is a fingering weight yarn, their smallest, I wanted to order one in their DK weight, something a little bit larger, then it won't be as many stitches around. But I thought I'd do the same thing, and it's this really beautiful, I don't know, ocean blue, like a pale ocean blue. So I'll show you when I get that. Oh, we had a giveaway last time for what are you going to be doing to celebrate Halloween or celebrate Samhain or Day of the Dead or anything that you celebrate around this time. And we got lots of responses. Thank you for taking part. I put all the responses into random.org, and Rhonda Murphy is the winner. If you will get in touch with me and let me know your address. You can send it to me through Ravelry, through Instagram. You may not want to put your address on YouTube, but you can certainly send me your email if you want, and I can contact you there. And Rhonda said she's going to celebrate the full moon, plant garlic, dig horseradish for fire cider, watch funny spooky movies, and set some intentions for fall. That sounds perfect. Have you set any intentions for fall? I know some people set intentions at the new year, but for some people this is the new year, the beginning of the 6 months of darkness, the winter and the darker season where the sun is lower. So some people will set intentions this time of year, and I'm curious if you have set any intentions for this fall. So knitting-wise, I wasn't planning on starting anything right away after my sweater, but both kids asked me to knit them something, which is very rare. Leaf will ask me often because he likes my knitted stuff, and so does Kaya. She just doesn't wear it as much. It's just not generally her style, but she asked me to make her a cardigan. And she had this idea for something big and oversized and super cozy to wrap up in black, all black. And I was like, oh babe, please don't make me knit the whole thing in black. It would not just be boring, but like you can't see your stitches well when the yarn is so dark. So we were looking through cardigans and discussing colors, and all of the ones she was looking at were single colored. And then I pointed out one that I really like by Bristol Ivy. And it is called, I don't remember what it's called because it's not on here because I didn't print out the front page with the big picture. But I'll put it right here so you know. But this is what it looks like. So when we saw it, I said, I might knit that one for myself. And she's like, oh, I actually kind of like that one. I like how the colors intermingle in the center pattern. And I said, it kind of looks collegiate, Kaya. And Kaya's in the middle of applying for colleges right now. And I could just see her kind of think, a college sweater. So that's the one she chose. I told her my requirements are that it needed to be a non-superwash yarn and that I would prefer it in all natural fibers. And she was totally fine with that. So we went on to Prado de Lana's site to see what they had in their store, and I found this one from Rauwerk and this one from Green Mountain Spinnery. She wanted it in a really dark gray and a red, and I think they're going to look beautiful together. So this one is their gold pipau, 100% wool, and this one is their brick house, also in 100% wool. So I think they'll look beautiful together, and I'm excited to see how it looks on her. I really want to knit her a bunch. Like, I was thinking about having, oh, what is it called? A hope chest? Is that what some women used to do for their marriage stuff? Like, they put stuff away for marriage. I want to do that for Kaya for when she moves out. I was just thinking about how nice it would be to have a blanket and a new sweater and some socks and all this stuff in a little chest that she could move with. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not, but I have all this medicine and herbal stuff I want to send with her. Like, there's all this stuff that I've created that's in our house, but it won't be in her new space. And right now she's looking at a lot of colleges up in New England. There's only one college close to us that she's any bit interested in, and it's still 2.5 hours away. Almost all of the rest of them are either one in Virginia and most of them in Massachusetts and Connecticut. And they're great colleges, but it's not one that you can drive home from on the weekend. So, so I want her to have everything that she needs. So we'll see. Maybe I'll start something like that and have the cardigan to go with it. And Leaf, gosh, 5 years ago I knit him a little pair of booties. I think they're called farm socks. This one was a design by Drea Mowry. Drea Renee Knits. Yep, her farm slippers. And this is what they look like. So I knit him a pair 5 years ago, and he still wears them. Because of the fold over top, he just kind of kept moving his heel back down the sock. And he loves them, but finally he was like, Mom, these are really too small for me. Because he was 5 years old, 6 years old. So I've started another one. I finally dug into my Wild in the Woods stash. I have a number of skeins of her yarn, all different colors. And I just didn't know what to do with it, because I wanted to put it all together. I wanted to make something that showcased all of that yarn in one. And so I just kept putting it off, like not knitting with it, because it's one of those precious stash that you never knit with. You just keep looking at it, and I don't want to have that. I want to have stash that I use. So he said he wanted them in the same colors last time, and I had a light blue and a light gray, but this one was a dark blue and a dark gray. And when I showed them to him, he was like, yep. That's what he does. He sticks his thumbs up and clicks at me. So, so I've started on these, and of course they're super fast because it's sport weight held double, or a single Aran weight. So I've knit one so far, or I'm on the first one. So this is the flap that folds over, and then here's my spot for the afterthought heel. And I love it. I think it's looking great so far. I can't wait to have them for him. So he likes to run around in them on our concrete floors and slide. But, I mean, when you use a wool that's a nice sturdy wool, they hold up forever. He wore those other booties like crazy. And even with sliding on them, they did just fine. They felted a little on the bottom, which was actually perfect because it helped make it sturdier. So this is the first one, and it probably won't take me much longer to knit these, since it's like Aran weight yarn. So that's all the knitting I'm doing right now. So this is Wild in the Woods, and these colors were from her Practical Magic kits, or boxes. She did some boxes this past year inspired by the movie Practical Magic. And this one is called And One Blue, which is from a scene in the movie that's someone wrote in her diary about her perfect man, and she said he would have one green eye and one blue. So this is the And One Blue. And then this one is just called Sally Owens, which is the names of one of the characters. Yeah. So I think the only other thing is that in between starting those for Leaf and finishing my sweater, I did a little spinning. I have some gorgeous fiber from the Prado de Lana farm that I got last time I was up there helping out at Rauwerk a year ago. And Rauwerk would have been, I guess, 2 weeks ago, and Saf would have been last weekend. And I missed my festivals and hanging out with my friends and seeing all of you guys, and so I pulled out the fiber and thought I would spin some of it. So I had 2 different colors. I had mostly a bunch of apple, and apple is a gray Romney, and then I had a little bit of Uncle Eli, and he's a white Romney. And I love spinning Romney, so this is it. I love spinning Romney because it generally has a longish staple. It's not like merino or something that's super short that just pulls out of your hands. It's long enough that you can draw the fiber out well and not have it pull out of your hands. It also has a really nice crimp to it, so it kind of spins around itself without slipping like silk would or something that's really fine. So I think it's a lot of fun to spin. If you've never spun it or you're wanting to get into spinning, then Romney's one that I would say is a good starter fiber also. So let me bring this closer. So this spun out to be about 480 yards, and it's a little over 6 ounces. So the sport weight, maybe a light DK, it's probably more sportish, I would say. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it other than love on it. I'll have to find the right project for it. Alright friends, I think that's it. I really wanted to hang out with you outside today because it's just so beautiful. It's maybe in the low 50s. And the sun is shining, and there's still a few leaves hanging on the trees, so you've got some color out there, but the wind is blowing, and so I knew you wouldn't be able to hear me. And one of our neighbors is riding a four-wheeler, so indoors it is. Hopefully next time I'll be able to be outdoors, and it's fun sometimes in the winter to get out there, especially if it's snowy, and podcast out there. I hope you all are well, and you're staying healthy, and you're staying happy, and you're staying sane, and I will hopefully see you in the next few weeks. Take care.